We're so lucky to have Kirscha Cramer today, coming from, I believe she's in Malibu, from Five Cents Collective. And we've been talking this whole time about self-care and tips and how we can get through this. And it's May 1st, so I want to talk about the reemerging and resilience and kind of move into subjects like that.
Hi.
Good morning. Hi, pretty
Good
girl. How are
morning.
you? It's so nice to see your face. It just brings me a lot of
It's nice to
like just
meet
calm and
you too.
grounding. Tell us a little bit about you and Drew and what you guys do with Five Cents.
Drew and I started Five Sense Collective. We're mainly known for our sound healing meditations, and it's really just about coming together in ceremony and uplifting ourselves and diving a little bit deeper and making this experience on this earth more connected. So exactly kind of parallel to what's happening right now in this quarantine, where we're being forced to be more grounded and connected to ourselves or to the earth, or maybe many people are not experiencing it like that, but that is the full intention of Five Sense Collective, is really just grounding in to have a more deep, intentional relationship with this earth and with the people and every moment that we spend on it.
Tell us a little bit about how you've sort of pivoted and what you've been doing. So if people need some grounding, that
Yeah.
they can come to you for things.
Yeah, so we've entirely shifted to this online virtual way of exchanging energy. And I got to tell you, it's been quite a challenge. Less so now than it was in the beginning, but Drew and I had never stepped onto a live. Yeah, we've all been called to face these things that daunted us before, and it's just sharpening new skills and new tools and new ways to connect, which is really beautiful.
Tell me a little bit about your personal self-care toolkit that makes you who you are so that you can give healing to others.
Okay, yeah, I every morning when I wake up, I take a moment to come into my body after I've kind of seen what I need to do for the day, get done. I always step out of that and go take a moment for myself, whether that's sitting here in this beautiful space and meditating, looking at the ocean, or playing one of my bowls, or taking a mindful moment to really appreciate the birds or this beautiful garden, or all of those really precious aspects that enrich the visual aspect of our lives. Some days I feel like doing a meditation and sitting in stillness, and other days I am all about moving my body. I go for extremely long walks. I'm a walker. It gives me a lot of clarity, and I often find that I have downloads and different ideas come in when I'm in that space. So that's something that's really important to me, is moving my body and giving myself those chemicals that make me feel.
What else do you do to keep your days busy right now?
I have
Right.
to have some form of intellectual stimulation, whether that be reading or taking an online course of some sort. Right now, I'm taking some free class on Yale, which is the science of well-being, which I highly recommend doing.
What pointers do you have if someone really just is still not we have a lot so much to process right now. What pointers do you have on that?
I think everyone experiences sorts of anxiety or worry or dis-ease, and everyone is experiencing that to some capacity. But I think there are some base tools that can keep us and maintain a healthy mental state. So moving your body and intentionally nourishing your body. So being aware of what kind of food you're eating and what kind of effect that's going to have on your mental state and your physical state, and giving yourself space. So, I mean, space to process, space to cry, space to be angry, space to question. I think that those are the elements, no matter where you're at, and what you're feeling, that can always be there to serve you. I think one thing that quarantine taught everyone, or rather that this virus taught everyone, is that your plans don't matter. I know that this quarantine has brought up a lot of shadow work for people because they're having to face themselves, but there's also so much beauty that's come from it. I myself suffer from this human condition where I'm constantly thinking, what's next? What do I got to do? We're running at 1,000,000 miles like a minute. This has allowed me to slow down. There's more of this internal listening, and so there's more space to listen to what's going to guide you next.
How do you think if somebody's struggling right now, because there is a lot of struggle right now, how does someone heal in a time like this?
Again, I think that it really depends what people are going through in their own mode of connecting to earth, their own mode of connecting to their roots or their healing. I think that would vary between every person, but if somebody can listen to that internal compass or that internal guide system that is telling them, you know, this needs to be processed, because I think there are many layers to healing. I think a lot of people feel pain and they don't know what they're trying to heal. And a lot of people attach pain to a specific situation that's occurred in their lifetime, and they put all of that emotion into that experience and continue to recreate it on a day-to-day level. Healing can be incredibly different just depending on what's occurring, or what it is that you specifically have not listened to yet within yourself that you need to listen to. And going back to what I'd mentioned about moving your body and intentionally feeding yourself and taking space for yourself, I think that's the way to also find out what healing needs to be done for you and how to heal. Meditation doesn't have to allot an extensive amount of time for you to ground in. I think that's one of the most beautiful parts of mindful meditation, is that it's a moment, and it's catching yourselves in that moment. Even if it's just you're encountering someone, you know, who's coming through and you're a checker at the grocery store, and you take a moment to say like hello, and I really see you, and look into that person's eyes, and feeling gratitude in your own self for their existence and your existence, because you seeing them reaffirms that you are existing, you're alive.
It's so interesting because we learn, right, that life is a series of moments, and like we can't go to the one that happened a moment ago. We can't really go to the one that's going to happen a moment from now. What we have is like this one. I love that. Finding a moment in this one. So if you had any final words or ideas or anything for someone to go from where we are to the reemerging with as much positivity and love as possible, what would your wishes be and final words on that be?
I think really taking the rest of this time to get to know yourself and to silence and to quiet and to really be with yourself, because it's the strength that comes in that, and the confidence that comes in that, and the appreciation of yourself that comes in that practice, that allows you to be a whole individual rather than needing something else that's outside of you. So if we can take, say, this practice of only speaking positively with ourselves and the people around us, not just uplifting ourselves, but uplifting everyone that you come in contact with, even if that's people that you're sharing your quarantine with, and trying to make them feel like you look at them and you see what they're trying to achieve in this world, and you only foster more of that. You throw flowers at them all day long.
I
That
love that.
can help to create this shift. And then once we transition again, there's uncertainty, but you just have to cultivate this sense of inner grounding within yourself, knowing that you are rooted in this earth, you are special in this earth. There's nobody else like you on this entire planet. And what's in store for you is already yours. So just be trusting and have happiness in your heart, because there's no reason to carry that stressor, because what if it doesn't go bad? What if it goes great? You spend all of that time wasting your time being upset or being angry, and guess what? Like, that doesn't serve you.
Bye, sweet girl. Have a great
Bye.
day. Bye.